Those are brand new, shiny, never used. Let's try some that have been used but still have life in them. See, like this one looks like it's mushroomed a little bit, like sanded down a bit too much. Should probably just throw it out. All right, let's try these. Oh no, I threw away the no. All right, there it is. I threw away the marking telling me which one was the middle. Yeah, I would think that blacksmiths would prefer things made out of metal that won't burn when they accidentally touch it to like hot steel. But what do I know? Just tightened up. All right, face shield time because this stuff ends up shipping and shooting stuff everywhere. Turn the speed down a little bit. I've heard how badly these things are like shipping, being the grain that they are. Hopefully, once we get a little more supported cuts and aren't just slicing off corners, we don't have that issue. At least that is the idea of what will happen in my video. Also, just kind of speed up and stuff like that too. It's a little bit frustrating, but I don't know if it doesn't pain me in sometimes. Hey, what's up? Welcome. I did find when I was practicing on these the first time that beveling the end sliver, which I normally wouldn't do with pen length, kind of gives like a supported cut behind the end grain fiber more than, oh, what did you do there? Nothing. Okay, I just didn't make that cut all the way through. You can see like all this tear out here, just almost tearing it down all the way to the button. Placing the fiber right through. Maybe I should have done it even earlier than I did. Helped me in the last end grain test. Then we get clean cut all the way down. And then when we're pushing this way, we'll have, you know, an angle of fibers against it that are trying to resist it. And like you have to push over the whole stack instead of pushing over longer tubes. Yeah, still hoping that it works. I don't always turn, but when it is, it's the fun. And maple in the middle too. And he's hitting it, it's like, oh, I'm harder than everything else. I always like when these happen. A little. Let's see if I can get it off. No, I snapped it in half. Oh well. It was a ring. A little ring, slice of wood. Little donut. I watched the last two episodes of Stranger Things this released finally. A couple days late, but got there. A little underwhelmed for the ending. At least how they ended this season. Oh, another maple ring. Woo. And those little slices is fun. What do you think? You just sell these, right? Everybody would want shavings. I don't know if anybody watched it and they're trying to spoil anything. For sure. That's proper. That I had like this character arc, and then at some point in the very last episode, took one of those character arcs and like, hey, you know everything you've been building up this entire season? Forget that. That character is back to season 3. Like, wait a minute, what happened to all the development? And they said, screw you, we don't care about development. little more lately. I also need to do a little more designing. So maybe, I was thinking about maybe like doing design after dark streams, like just hopping on any given night and um doing some graphic designing. Some tricks that I'm learning. But we're finding it. Probably not sponsored or affiliated, but so explanation style. Magic of the day. Twitch streamers are getting sponsored by YouTubers. That'd be funny. Unscheduled after dark streams, hobby stuff for gaming with friends. Yeah, I guess for me it wasn't even like, is it going to be enjoyed by enough people? It's like, well, I'm just doing it anyway. So like I use streaming to force myself to stay productive. You know, it's probably different than what a lot of other people use it for. So David, welcome in. Happy 4th of July, sir. Hope the weekend treated you well. Hope today's treating you well. What do you guys do today? Oh no. Doot doot doo. Figures. So do we save this to try and go with the next one that breaks like that? Or or we make this the top, shrink this down a little bit, and try and make that the bottom. And then fill that with something. Well, I guess we could try turning this down to this barrel, and then if we can get this one to successfully turn, we'll turn this one into the top. And we'll try it. Well, then, because then we can hide this little piece under the clip with whatever we fill it with. And hopefully the sanding on the rest of it comes out okay. Telling you, damn end grain. Damn end grain. I don't know why I do this to myself. David, I know you're a turner, so I made myself a little 10 turner's card today on the laser for some quick gauging without having to bust out the calipers. Also made out of wood, so it's obviously softer than having anything metal. It sounded like tear out, but a little tiny bit, but it needed to be sanded out. Area up. So. These little pieces here of just this cedar, for example, and try and glue it in this little chip out up here. Start by jamming that in there and getting a little glue. You guys notice I had a clean bunch of fibers, so start doing this now. Oh, I also could have come in, I can do it on this side, and actually soaked these, trying to avoid that tear out. So why don't we do that? Why don't we be a little smarter on this side? Try and avoid the issues we had on the last one. Yeah, David, I designed that this morning, cut it out right before stream. So if it works, I'm thinking about offering them. There's just like giveaways to mail out. That kind of stuck in there a little bit. Again, I understand that like plastic calipers can be a thing too, but I just like the having them all available at once and not needing to fidget with anything. Put a little magnet on there, could even just keep it on the bed, currently sitting. Turned out a little smaller than I expected too, but it's still like room for me to be able to add. Maybe like a 3x5 card instead of the 2x4 that I currently have. I mean, these are going to be finished with CA anyway to try and make sure that these ends can stay in. How that repair looks. Apparently like shit. Kind of clean off that bushing. Pulling up a detailed carbide here. CA and gunk off the bushing. Kind of see where we are there. Not great, like not the best work, but this section under the clip, I think I'll be fine. Well, some more finishing work to do on it. We'll get some more CA and all that. So. Not normally the cuts I would make, but again, I'm trying to support the seasoning. I found with that, using that bevel early really helps. The new bottom done. All right, did we actually get to 14? Not quite. We're a little thick. Still got to bring that down, but that means that I can take this, which should be at 12 at around here, and I still have some meat, and then taper down towards that body. So work on that too. Okay, so far, the top of this pen not wanting to cooperate. Off again. See, that's the rattle. The stupid grub screw is loose. Is it? Oh, I lied. So we're just spinning. The bushings are spinning. Vertical loop with our tail stop. We just fill at this point with CA. Some medium in there. The thin isn't really like filling it. Of course, I'm gonna have to like snap off the bushings. Wood to the tip of our finger because, you know, it's a Monday. Glue on fingers equals Monday. These damn end grain turnings are probably going to be the death of me. So, stay tuned for more. Not a bad repair. And when I do CA on the whole thing, it's actually going to look just fine. Just fine. Recovery complete. Let's do a little bit of sanding here. Skewed it up, so we don't need to do much. Start at maybe I guess we can start at 180. Looking for the 240, but an interesting thing that I found with this isn't making sure you sand the different hardnesses of the wood, is that the radial scratches you actually don't want to sand across because you create more visible scratches than you do with the radials. I found that fascinating. Because of the way that the end grain is on these. transition right here I'm not a huge fan of. I can fix that. Famous last words? Anyone? Fix that. The walnut ring is raised a little more. And like a bump to it that I didn't really like. Actually, it's still thicker than maybe it's above these though. What the heck? Well, I think maybe we just leave this one a little thick boy or girl and move on. It really looks fine. In addition to getting obsessed with logos by Nick recently, I watched where everybody got up this morning. Was it some new movie on Netflix that had Thor in it? Was it Chris Hemsworth? Is that his name? Like Spider Island or Spiderhead? Sanding, Jack. Sanding is my favorite woodworking task. I love sanding. Spiderhead. That's what it was. Spiderhead. Interesting premise for that movie. Terrible execution. Please avoid if you can. So, planing and draw knifing. No, I thought you were just trying to set me up to be like, I hate sanding. I don't know. I don't know that I have a favorite woodworking activity. I find, yes, planing and working with chisels, like working with really sharp tools, right? That's my favorite activity, is working with really sharp tools. Hey, Tank. Be fourth. What diameters did I put on there? I put on 4 through, so let's see. We started down here with 4. So really this is because I was doing crochet hooks. So I was like, yeah, 4, 5, 6, right? 7 and 8. 7 for the pen blanks. So we have 4 through 15, incrementing by 1. And then we have a 19 and a 25. So these two larger ones. And I could make this a little bigger and put a couple more larger ones. And I think I'm probably going to do that. And then I have the 1 3/8 in there. So, oh yeah, it's upside down. So yeah, so we have 4 all the way through 15 by 1 millimeters. We have the 1 3/8 for the pen tube, the common pen tube size. And then I threw in a 19 and a 25 for like handles, since I've been doing crochet hook handles. So it was an experiment to see if I liked this to begin with. So I'm probably gonna try and perfect, you know, maybe adding a couple more sizings in there. You're never gonna have everything, of course, but how much for the gauge? I don't know, Tink. My plan, so my current thought was at a minimum, I'll make them and maybe I can use them for stream giveaways since they're easy to mail out. So it's the first thing that I've designed and cut on the laser that could be a quote unquote product. So yeah, I do want to. So I've been doing a lot of Etsy research, and I don't have a huge like desire to want to put my own to like put handmade goods necessarily up there, but I think that where Etsy currently is in the marketplace is like personalized and the ability to produce things like this or just laser cut. I think laser cutting has a place on Etsy, especially when it comes to personalization with laser cutting. So that's where I'm gonna. I don't think we're gonna put our handmade thorns and thread stuff up there, but I think that we're going to be. I'm going to be doing this, right? I'm going to be doing laser cut stuff on Etsy for sure. So I don't know what a good price is. Um, let me show you this listing that I found this morning that I thought was really, really interesting. Hang on. I might even still have it up. Oh yeah, I could do pen blank sales on Etsy too. That would probably be a good. That would be better than potentially direct. Good idea, David. Thank you for reminding me of that. You should take a look at the share projects in Discord. Let me show you guys this. This isn't what like inspired this. I was actually thinking of this gauge before I got the laser, but I did find this listing this morning that I thought was pretty fascinating. So like these little cards here, and they have a variety of them, and they're selling them for $9 a piece, or a set of them for 45. Which I guess that's like buy 5 get 1 free. $9 each though, kind of crazy. Especially with some of these, they should be two-sided, and I don't know if they are. Mix and match mini tools. Talk about like, look how bundled this is as a product. Holy cow. Just like just the concept as a product is just like, huh. Because you could, obviously, you can make, she has 36 different ones here. I keep saying she. This shop has 36 different cards. Any 6 for $45. I would think it would be lower priced. But hey, I guess 13,000 sales on the site and 583 reviews for the item can't be totally wrong, right? There's like the ability to have a little card with references and whatnot on them. Crazy. But this is a big reason why I wanted a laser. So just like, yeah, obviously there's a market for anything that you can cut out custom wise. So anyway, turn that off. Free gauge with purchase of blanks. Look at that. So I could start. There you go. That's like a bonus, right? Just like could start adding in like free tool or whatever with purchase over X dollars even. Hmm. Not bad. So Thorns actually had me design um, one of the winding gauges that she had seen. She hadn't seen that like bundle of 6, but we designed one of the winding gauges for her. We haven't cut it out yet, but yeah, totally something we could sell as a product and should, right? About getting it out there. All right, so yeah, like I said, normally I finish wood with wax, but I am finishing these with CA because they are end grain, and I don't want them to chip out. And that CA just makes it pop. You get this chatoyance in the middle, and end grain does look good. Because it drinks up. I think the reason you get that chatoyance is because the end grain drinks up a lot of whatever you put into it. So then you have this brightness, then you have this darkness. Those look sweet. All right, one down, 4 of these things to go. Yes, NetCassette. Oh, did I call it the wrong thing? I am not a fiber artist, I apologize. Are they not called a winding gauge? Is it a... What are they called? A wraps per inch tool? That's way too long. Yeah, so the wraps per inch. Listing price is a little higher due to fees on Etsy, plus an attempt to make money back from equipment purchases. Whip tool. Okay. Also, might I ask the story behind the name Thorns and Thread? So, Thorns and Thread. Story time. Um, Not a very long story. It was just we had thrown around a lot of ideas for a shop name for her. Um, for like the last 2 years, and she's gone through a couple of like kind of false starts on Etsy, and then we're like, let's do something together. And then so like she started off with Amrosie Creations, which was like a portmanteau of a nickname she had a long time ago, and then she sold a couple things under that, but like never really made a huge go of Etsy. I mean, like the store, I don't know when the store was opened up, back in probably 10 years ago or something. I know it says on there, but I don't remember exactly. Um, so then we were like, hey, we'll do stuff together. We're making more stuff, around the start of the pandemic. Um, just before the start of the pandemic, actually, and we changed it. Didn't even do anything with it at that time. Changed the name, and then this last time, when we changed it for the third time, and she was brainstorming a bunch of names but didn't like anything, and I came up with Thorns and Thread because as like a combination of the two of us. Initially it was just going to be her shop, but I was like, well, if we have a shop, we're probably both going to end up putting things up there, have the capability to put things up there. So the Thorns aspect. So again, thinking back to like Amrosie, her middle name is Rose, right? And so thinking back to the rose aspect without putting rose into the name, but liking the idea of potentially having a rose for a logo, right? I put Thorns and Thread out there as like wood and fiber, right? Kind of like woodworking and fiber art. Um, and we named that before she got into wire wrapping. So she's been doing, fiber in some form, whether it's sewing or quilting or knitting. And now she's doing spinning. So yeah, the woodworking is what I've been doing for years. So kind of like the combination of the two of us of Thorns and Thread. It doesn't. I actually mentioned this to her. I'm like, you named yourself Thorns and Thread on Twitch, which kind of makes you the name of the shop, but so we're gonna call you Thorns, but technically Thorns and Thread is me as the wood aspect, and yeah. Technically, right? See, this is what I told her the problem was. So, yeah, it seemed like a name that didn't like super well define itself, allowed it to have, you know, multiple definitions applied to it when it came to what products you wanted to have in there. It wasn't like, you know, Matt's woodworking, right? To where it's like only woodworking, and it wasn't, you know, Amber's sewing or whatever, so she couldn't do anything else. Um, Thorns and Thread is enough of a generic name that it could be applied, even if it has like an origin and a history of woodworking and fiber art. It could be anything, right? It doesn't need to be just that. So, so story time. So I guess it was a little longer than I thought. Just trying to give some history and backstory there. But yeah, I told her that having Thorns and Thread as the Twitch handle name, right, for herself might not work technically with the story behind the name, but whatever. Doesn't really matter, does it? It's just Twitch we're talking about. I might get her to change her Twitch name. We'll see. So we obviously glued these on here because we put glue on it. So I'm scoring these glue seams to be able to break it off. Like that. And then we're cool and use zip ties to be able to store our work on. So we don't just throw them in a bin or whatever. Thorin she is, and Thorin she will stay, unless she wants to change. That's true. $491 Myers wound on a nitty knotty? I don't know what that is. I know what a nitty knotty is. I made one of those. And I know what it's for. I don't know what 491 Myers are. Oh, now you have one empty bobbin. Sweet. Netkissa, did you ever see the e-spinner that I made for Thorns? I don't recall. Oh, Meters, not Myers. That makes sense. Rose may or may not have been part of your name at one point. Trivia. Not finished. Did I ever... And here's my wonder. Did I ever post a picture of that, like, on anything? I'm so good at this social media thing, aren't I? So good at this social media thing. There we go. David sold your first 6 pens the other day. Holy cow. That's sweet. Son's 6 coworkers like the pens, so you sent him 14 and 6 people bought. Wow, that's... I can't do it as good as Derek, but I'll give it a shot. I'll be like, let's go! You guys should try that if you haven't. It's invigorating. Good job, David. Congrats, man. All right, so Netka said this is the finished thing. I don't know. I don't remember exactly what pictures I have in here. You can see the mess that was set up in the living room at the time too. So we can ignore that. Oh, that's not fun. So yeah, I think it came out quite nice. And she has spun, I don't know, a dozen or so bobbins already. And I made her a lazy Kate to go with it too, so she's Got some finished yarn. I'll have to have her back out. And she used it on a stream, like shortly after it was done. She came out and showed people how to spin on it. So yeah, I should probably post some of those on like a social that isn't just my Google Photos. There you go. Oh, there's like an animated flex now. Yeah. Sometimes it's just good to like scream some stuff and be excited about it, right? It like gets us out of our funks. I don't know. Derek, man, that guy. I love that guy. Like, and this is no, this is no secret, right? You can't always take, or I can't, and not everybody can always take like every part of 6-hour Moko streams, right? Some of them are just like, I don't pay attention the whole time, but they're definitely really good at supporting and promoting, everyone being involved. Just, it's infectious. Infectious. They have like, Dare has like a 20 charisma, right? 6, I want to say. So the bobbins are the Ashford bobbins, so if I need more, I can just buy them. They're like $13 a piece. Oh, Dev got him the journal, even though he hasn't seen. Oh, that's sweet. I didn't know that they bought the journal. That's awesome. We're in season 2, like episode 4 or 5 or something like that. I will say I have minor frustrations about Gravity Falls in like having the end of season 1 where like Grunkle Stan's like, yeah, of course I know about this shit, and then like the first 6 episodes or whatever we've watched so far, and they don't even like talk about it to each other at all, and like you're back on like Dipper and Mabel doing their own thing, and Grunkle Stan like ignoring it even though he's obviously trying to figure out the same thing that they are, or stop them from figuring out the same thing that they are, but trying to figure it out themselves, and maybe they wrap it all up by the end of the 2nd season. I don't know. It's just like communication. I get frustrated by the lack of communication in television and movies, because it's like constantly the entire reason that there's any conflict whatsoever. It's like, you fuckers would just communicate with one another, wouldn't have any problems. That goes for real life too. A real life lesson. Real life lesson, people. If you just communicate with one another, you would have fewer problems. When a person is buying their first spinning wheel, they usually ask how many bobbins they should order with it. The answer will always be, we'll have 1 too few. 9 original and 3 3D printed. Yeah, I knew that I could turn them. We just ordered yeah, it's like 6. I think it's 6. We just ordered a bunch when we ordered the flyer. You have 1 empty bobbin because you just emptied. You're 7 episodes short of the end. I would have assumed that you've seen the whole thing, Albatross. I have not seen the whole show yet. Oh, and 6 is the most common number? It seemed to make sense to me to have like, then you're like, you should order in groups of 3, but then you have 2 to turn. I mean, she's only doing 2 ply right now. So you have 2 to spin onto, and then a 3rd one to ply onto. and then you could take that one off and do the ball winder, right? So I was like, do you really need more than that? Like, as long as you take it off the bobbin and do the ball winding diligently enough, it seems like it should be good. But that was a fun project anyway. I learned a lot about like doing the electronics for it. That's the theory. Oh yeah, they're doing the watch party today. I haven't seen it. Okay. Yeah, I haven't finished yet. It's our current family like, nighttime show. Pretty aggressive here at the moment. Yeah, but I should be a little more careful than I am, especially here. Chip out there. A little bit already down there. That damn Eastern Red Cedar again. See you, David. Thanks for hanging out. Enjoy the rest of your fourth. Whoa. Whoa. Let's see how much that's cost for wood. Good thing we're still, early on. Woo! Look at that. It's all gross and stuff. Definitely come in on the way wrong angle. It feels like, yeah, I know you want to do this other cut, but nah, we're not going to do that one. We're just going to spin across the wood. Better go do something. Yeah, thanks. I know, today off, I just was like, I should hop on for like a daytime stream. And I might actually hop on again later tonight anyway, and do a graphic designing after dark stream. We'll see. But thanks for hanging out. Little rings. I love these things. Little ring slices. Alright. And price is like my resin one. Take a little more effort. I didn't anything in this. Not all wood are equal. Not all cuts of wood are equal. take a little less aggressive cuts as we get closer, closer and closer in, of course. Turner car. Like, really. Like, I knew I would, or I had a feeling I would, but man, I've always liked this jig, right? Like, I've always liked doing this, to come in and touch it up, touch it in there, but maybe I'll see if I can make it as long as an envelope, and then I'll do the millimeters on one side and the imperials on the other or something, and it'll just be a useful, like, sizing jig in general. That depends. I didn't really have an end goal in mind for trying to turn it into a product or anything. It was just something I wanted. What am I getting on this? It sounds like I'm getting more than I might be. A little there. And we'll have to slow down here. I'm gonna sneak up. Appropriate sound. I'm gonna make more stock in the next 2 weeks as well. There's a double market weekend coming up in 2 weeks. Nose to the grindstone time. Seems like a very excessive nose for grindstone. I hope it's actually referring to like the nose of a tool or something, and not like someone's actual nose, whatever that the history of that saying is. That's probably what it is. I've always thought of it as a person's nose. Make it much darker than it likely is trying to be. Ooh. That's a baby cat. I think I saturate using CA a little bit before we finish all the way under these edges here. Now, this would be good to saturate. Hopefully that's not already too blown out. I feel like, hey, maybe I need to pre-soak the ends before I even start turning with these. That may be a thing that needs to happen. Hang in there, little fibers. Don't go anywhere. There's some like want to tear out the side. Stop the tear out. I think I need to get some Eastern Red Cedar just to turn on its own. It's such a good color. This like orangey red cedar looking color. I don't know. Such a good color. Yeah. And I don't think we're down to not yet. 12 mil. We'll get there. Oh, the sound that it makes sometimes. Oh no! A huge chip out there. And there. Come on, Maple. You're not supposed to do that. No. See if I can fix that with landing. Dubious. Dubious. At best. This is the life cycle for the items that you made, right? So like, it's terrible. It's still terrible. It's definitely not gonna work out. No, this one's ruined. Hey, it's not that bad. You know? Oh, that's me. Crap, absolute crap, absolute crap. Oh, pretty good. That's funny. one is the way up. Probably doing this on concentrate. Let's get you down to these. Close parts. And there's game integrated, of course, but I'm just trying not to explode anything. Nothing there. Like, oh, it's like that little piece of CA apparently that I haven't taken off yet. Weird. Weird, weird, weird. Or it's like a knot or something in the wood that's a little harder. Really, end grain is just like, I don't even know what to think of it anymore. I think we're good. Close enough on that. It's just sanding. A little piece up there, so I'm going to take that medium again. So I'm going to have to turn again. And to build that up. A little bit of a gap filling there. Apparently we have a little piece at the end here too. And end grain. You know, activator, it doesn't work. That's what typically works, right? Oh. Yeah, not too much build up here. Yeah. Sanding. Done turning number 2. Done turning number 2. 180 again. Looking nice. A little angle to them. I think I should have given them a little more angle in the glue up. And I believe when I was making that blank, I intended to. Didn't. And here we go. best intentions and all that. Just a good reminder that not every design is for you. Right? Sometimes there's people like different designs that might not be your favorite. And still make them. I've been in doing a lot of my Etsy researching and hearing, some concepts about the difference between successful shops and unsuccessful shops. One of the comments is like, if the pictures look like, the difference between a shop that looks like it's a hobby versus a shop that looks like it's a business, right? That yes, and yet like Etsy may have started as handmade, and you have kind of this like lashing out against what they're doing, or they're not really doing what they used to, right? But they're like a different business, right? And they can still be a platform, but you have to treat it as what it is, not what it isn't. And one of those things is, right, treating it like a business, doing things business mindedly. And one of those things is about the products that you sell, right? It's not jump to some other market, right? But in your realm of things you make as a maker, that you have to make things that the industry wants, right? That your customers want, not necessarily, you can't just, at least anymore, most people can't just make what they like and then sell that, right? That you have to do some level of research to find out what people want and make those things. It reminds me of all the river table hate. It's like, that's fine, hate on river tables as a woodworker, but realize that that's kind of what the industry wanted at that time, and that you should have been making it if you were somebody who made tables. I don't think they're as popular as they used to be, but they still have, a level of popularity. Barnwood signs, right? All the stuff that that I think creatives often like to tease and make fun of. It's easy to forget that you have to treat it like a business if you don't want to be a starving artist. Like a little indent here that might get filled in later. We'll see. Otherwise, I actually don't hate the angle anymore. I wanted to do a more extreme angle, but I actually kind of like this subdued angle that I ended up with instead. Go me! Actually, that's just Bob Ross, right? Happy Little Accidents. Actually, on that Happy Little Accident front, so I was working on, I had to finish a commission this weekend, and I did the commissioned mallet, and they were both mallets. Like I sold a mallet, shockingly, in person, but I sold a commissioned mallet, and then I did that giveaway for the auction, the JDRF auction. No, it wasn't JDRF. World Central Kitchen, right? Is that the last one we did? JDRF was Christmas, and World Central Kitchen was the recent one. Um, where Colleen bought that mallet for Derek, and I had to do that as a commission. And I realized during that, at least for that item, I hate doing that as commission because there's so many things that went wrong with both versions, with both mallets, that I was just like, stressed out, not wanting to finish it. Couldn't like modify it to still make something great, because I had to stay within specs for what I was trying to hit. And that is frustrating, right? I'm so much better at being able to say, well, we were going to, this is the direction we're going, but we might have to swerve a little to the right or to the left, based on what actually happens when we're making something. And you just can't do that when you're like, nope, we need it this color, this weight, this size, these materials, and you're like, well, I guess I have one shot to get this done. Or two shots, or whatever. But it's such a waste of time when you spend hours on something, and then you're like, oh, and now I have to remake it. There went all my profit and and excitement for this build, right? For this make. Excitement out the window. I'm gonna tempt fate here. Let's see how this does. Obviously not tight enough. Yeah. I didn't like lose the end grain, so let's see if we can keep that barrel. Barrel. Get it? They're like 10 barrels and barrel shaped. Yeah, so you can't use it too far because you end up ripping out some of these chunks on the end grain. But there's still enough meat to fix all that, so that's a plus. That is a plus, 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 plus. And we save some time using that to get down the dimensions at least. all about process efficiencies. I need to figure out what to do for the wand. You know, we have 2 months, but I also know that the time goes quick. I should probably first decide. Look at this, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 rings going. You guys see that? Zoom in a little. Oh, there you go. We got 4 little spinny rings. Oh. Nope. I don't think we're gonna get a fifth. Alright, 4's pretty good. See where we are on this. And come in and soak those ends a little bit early. So anybody else have any good ideas for things they think should be laser cut that aren't just like jewelry and keychains, magnets, things like that? Any other jig ideas? Maybe. Gauges they'd like to see made. Even if it already exists, just, you know, potential to have it made in the community and then used for giveaways on the screen. Or like free with purchase type thing. Little promotional flags. Open to ideas. I gave you 10 minutes. I knew that that was going to get consumable. Laser cut roared. Oh, oh, damn. Both sides. Oh no, Tank, no problem. I assume people are busy. Ooh, that was not the pretty. Who are you? What the heck? What the heck, Pen Blank? I've been thinking about redesigning Roard actually. Um, since it is kind of a stock photo, right, that I didn't create. But I'm gonna continue to use it as like a brand type thing. I should probably have a version that is just mine. Which I don't currently have. I don't know if that's gonna be good enough. I don't have just maple things. Oh, maybe there's some there. Close enough. This to work out. Yeah, I ordered some magnets and I ordered some pin backs to be able to do some laser cut pins and magnets and whatnot. I have the magnets and the pin backs will be here this week whenever Amazon decides to deliver them. But I thought those would be cool. I ordered some earring backs too, to like studs. I don't want to do the dangle earrings because Thorns does the wire wrap dangle earrings, but I asked her if she was going to do studs, and she said no. And so I figure like those would be cool, easy things to kind of do some um, low dollar things at fairs, and try it on the Etsy too. So yeah, so like I've got the jewelry ideas. I've got it's like keychains and earrings and all that type of stuff. I guess I'm thinking more purpose, more like maker purpose. Just like making stuff up now. It's like just CA a bunch of shavings on there and it'll be fine, right? That's a lot. When you get a minute, you'll have to curious what you're pouring now. Oh, that. Okay, flipping again. I think the only one of the only things I use the silly carbide detail tool for, like not being afraid to clean off metal. But this is what tells me shiny, not shiny, tells me that something's out of alignment, just slightly. Cleanup blanks for letter openers and seam rippers, plus dragon egg and rose egg blanks. Holy cow. All of the resin. I should have said, all the resin. That's where I'm wondering if my mandrel is like undersized. If I can move it out like a 64th of an inch. Um, I get like these vibrations. That's really cool. Rose egg, right? Rose egg. Are you casting flowers in the resin? Thing that I'm not like thinking of. That little piece there, of course. It's just taking a little more CA than all the rest, isn't it? Touch up. CA is hard on the tool. CA is hard on the tool. on the bushing there. Oh, and all that blowout. What the frick? Piece of maple. Maybe just scrap this one. All the fixing I've had to do already, like seems like more fixing than actual pen. Urgh. When do you call it? When is more glue than wood? Like, okay, I guess we're just doing more glue than wood in this one. Like, when is that not the answer? I understand that's hyperbole, but sometimes doesn't feel like it. So it's thunder and not idiot outside. What does generally do? A pretty deep cut though. I don't think you guys can really see the difference. I couldn't even see the difference in person. Just that good. Not that good. Okay, bottom barrel time. Bottom barrel. Cleaning it up time. I feel like that was way too aggressive at that. Holy cow. Not quite punished. We'll take it. Sometimes I'm just like, I don't know. Obviously, I'm still not an expert because sometimes I approach and I get that angle and the turn just right, and I'm like slicing off these thin little hairs. And sometimes I'm like, gab, 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 gab. So, love to build that muscle memory to always have the correct approach. Let's see. Sand all the things that you love. Or sand them until you love them. Advice not applicable to humans. Don't sand humans. Oh, it is starting to rain. Look at that. Raining, pouring, something about old men and snoring. I don't know. Oh no, I almost lost my little card. I'm gonna take a bio break after this for a few minutes. Go water a pecan tree. If my name were TSA. Oh, all right. I don't have anything clever about going to the bathroom. Maybe just a reminder of that children's book. Everybody poops. Oh, all right. Mm, mm. In this spot up here, I'll have to put under the clip. So that's fine. This spot here is not great. And that spot there is not great. I don't think I can actually do anything about those. So silly white wood and not like, yeah, I don't know. This one I'm just not sure about. Stupid edges, man. Killing me. I feel like maybe, I don't know if I should like put resin pieces on the ends as spacers, so I'm not trying to fight the end grain there. Or when I make these blanks, make sure that I space them properly and not have end grain in those spots. But I don't know. This one may be like maybe a seconds or maybe a display pen or something like that. Not like, I mean, maybe it'll look okay after it's completely finished, but right now I'm just like got a couple of defects in it that I'm not super duper happy with. Maybe it's a discounted pen. It's like most of the hard work is done. It sucks to just switch stuff at this point. Oh, I just lost that bushing. I was thinking about switching these out anyway. Zipper tie. Sweet. Poured and pressure potted. Alright. I don't know. Maybe it somehow gets hidden a little by the kit. Who knows? Alright. quick BRB. I'm gonna go hit the head and be back and turning more of these pens. We have one more end grain. Stupid thing to do. I don't know why I thought these were a good idea. And then we have this cool resin swirl one. Resin and oak, where there's actually wood under here. I know it's hard to see. And then this is an old school blank that hopefully there's enough meat on this to actually turn a slimline out of. It might not be my standard slimline given the amount, but that's what we're gonna have coming up. So we'll be back in about 3 minutes. Someday you'll clean up, drill out your resin spill in the big pot, and re-level the small one. Oh, you have a spill in the bottom. I don't see it happening. I'll challenge you. End of the year. We'll see. We'll see if it actually happens. But I'll be right back. Quick bio. That's the wrong one. There we go. Ah, all right. Last end grain blank. I hate these stupid things. Somebody remind me of this the next time. I think it's a good idea to make them. Or I have to make them for like single barrel pens or something. Some lines are like so much work and effort. I know that Waycool has mentioned this, and I agree. Just how much, like how Slimlines is the starter pen kit, seems so incorrect. It might be the cheapest, but it sure as hell is not necessarily the